Hey guys, what's going on? Hermdo back with you. Illegal immigration is down, or sorry, border crossings are down 94%. Let's get into this a little bit here. This is from CBS News. Unlawful crossings at the U.S. southern border are down 94% from the same period last year. Border Patrol Chief Mike Banks told CBS News in his first sit-down interview, crediting the Trump administration's government-wide crackdown on illegal immigration. Over the past 7 days, Banks said Border Patrol agents have apprehended an average of 285 migrants per day along the southern border compared to roughly 4,800 during the same time last year. We have some facts here. As in fiscal year 2024, there were nearly 3 million border encounters nationwide, nearly half occurring at ports of entry, and a significant increase from fiscal year 2021. Now, this year here, according to this data, in February 2025, the USBP Border Patrol apprehended 8,347 illegal aliens crossing the southwest border between ports of entry. This constitutes a 71% decrease from January 2025, when USBP apprehended 29,101 aliens, and a 94% decrease from February 2024, when USBP apprehended 140,641 aliens. It's pretty wild. Banks attributed the dramatic drop in illegal immigration to a slew of executive actions taken by President Trump. They included order that has effectively closed the U.S. asylum system and allowed for summary deportations, as well as cancellation of Biden administration policies that allowed some migrants to enter the country with the government's permission. Formerly Texas border czar Banks also cited Trump administration's deployment of additional troops to the southern border and a decision to deputize Texas National Guard soldiers, immigration officers to help Border Patrol agents in the field. Taken together, Banks said those actions have virtually halted releases of migrants into the U.S. interior and has sent a strong warning to those thinking about traveling to the American border. They will most likely be deported if they enter the country without permission. Now, taking a look, Lord have mercy. Let's get into this really quick.
Illegal border crossings have sunk to the lowest level in at least 25 years. Preliminary government data obtained by CBS News shows Border Patrol officers apprehended nearly 8,500 migrants between points of entry along the U.S.-Mexico border last month. That's down about 70% from January. Unlawful border crossings have trended downward over the past year since hitting an all-time high of 250,000 in late 2023. CBS News immigration and politics reporter Camila.
So these numbers are kind of jumbled around a little bit here, but yeah, I mean, this number here, as far as how many migrants are actually in the country, it's been at 11 million for a long time. And a lot of right-wingers dispute this number. They say it's as high as 30, maybe even 40 million illegals. I think Bernie even said there was 20 million illegals working in working American jobs. That was a big issue. And Bernie has even come to the right on this issue. He's criticized illegal immigration and kind of been agreeing with Trump about the need for like border enforcement, stopping drug trafficking, stopping illegal immigration, as best we can. But most migrants, as we know, are South American. Most of them are Mexican. And the big areas for illegal immigration are California, New York, and Texas. I know New York, Eric Adams and Kathy Hochul were taking some shit because a lot of New Yorkers felt that these illegal immigrants were given like debit cards and welfare and government handouts and whatnot, and they felt like native New Yorkers didn't get those. It's been a big point of contention for these people. And personally, I think this is a losing issue for the left. And the reason I say that is because, more Americans do want to curb this illegal immigration. 55% want immigration reduced, highest since 2001. Significantly more U.S. adults than a year ago. 55% versus 41% would like to see immigration to the U.S. decreased. This is the first time since 2005 that the majority of Americans have wanted there to be less immigration. Today's figure is the largest percentage holding that view since 58% reading in 2001. The record high was 65% recorded in 1993 and 1995. That was under Bill Clinton, obviously. He was a notorious border hawk, deported a hell of a lot of people. Since the 90s, last 30 years, obviously the Democrats have moved far to the left on immigration, and I think it's one of those issues that's really cost them. But as we can see from the charts here, the people that want immigration decreased its highest level in the 90s, but it goes back down a little bit. It peaks at 55% as of June of last year. The number of people that want the present level of immigration is down to 25%. The number of people who want more immigration is down to 16%. 16%. It's a very, you know, this is a thing. I'm to the right on this issue. I consider myself left wing in a lot of ways, but as far as border security goes, I think this is something the left definitely needs to clean up on. But let's get back to this video a little bit.
Montoya Galvez joins us now. Camilo, always good to see you in Studio 57. Do we know what's behind this drop in border crossings?
Well, look, I think we have to first emphasize how stunning and remarkable this drop is. Fewer than 9,000 migrants were processed at the U.S.-Mexico border after crossing into the country illegally in February. That is compared to some days during the Biden administration when Border Patrol recorded more than that on 24-hour time spans, including up to 10,000 people in a single day. So it is a dramatic, stunning turnaround at the U.S.-Mexico border. In terms of what is driving this dramatic change, well, the Trump administration, as you know, would argue that its dramatic crackdown on illegal immigration is the main catalyst here, that their policies, including the effective shutdown of the American asylum system and the deployment of military troops to the border, are having that intended impact in lowering the number of people crossing the border. But of course, Mexico has also been stopping many migrants from even reaching the U.S. in the first place, and that is a years-long operation that began under the Biden administration. But there are still some open questions. For example, historically, migration increases in the spring, so we will have to wait to see if that materializes. And also, many of the policies that the current administration is crediting for this drop are now facing legal challenges in federal court. So whether they ultimately pass legal muster is still an open question.
Okay, that's understandable. I'm not against immigration. I don't want to frame it like that. Obviously, I think there's many benefits to immigration and whatnot. A lot of our labor force is occupied by illegal immigration. I'm not sure the exact percentages, but there's a lot of, even, and to reference Bernie again, he was making the point that, a lot of this migration does lead to wage suppression. A lot of these companies, like big tech companies, they're offshoring, or they're importing rather H-1B visas and replacing a lot of their workers with H-1B visas. A lot of small business owners in the South, they employ a lot of illegal immigrants, kind of undercutting a lot of American workers. This has been a big issue. I don't want to sound like some fear monger here, but I do think there's some truth to this, and that's where I kind of break with the left on this and whatnot. But that's all I got for you guys for right now. Personally, I think the left needs to kind of crack down on this shit, honestly, and because the American people, by and large, from last year, it was 41% wanted a reduction of immigration. Now 55% do. It's crazy how far people have come on this. And I know the Biden administration has made some moves to it, but overall, Kamala wasn't really seen as a good border czar, and I think that really hurt her in the long run. A lot of Americans are angry about this. Do I think some of their fears are overblown? A little bit, yeah. But still, we have to be pragmatic about this. We have to understand this is having a negative effect in some ways. I know illegal immigrants, they are migrants, commit less crime than, regular Americans. I know they do contribute to the economy. I know there's benefits to it, but there's also some drawbacks, and we have to acknowledge that in the future. But that's all I got for you guys for right now. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think this is a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing? Are you an immigration hawk? Are you a right-wing guy that's like, hell yeah, close the border? Are you a left-wing guy who's just like, oh no? But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Join the channel. Toss me a few bucks on Cash App if you'd like. But have a good one. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. It's almost over, people. So I'll talk to you guys later.